Today, I'm making Magneto's helmet from Harry Potter. For this build, you'll need Plastidip, thin EVA foam, thin craft foam, aluminum foil, duct tape, a dummy head, a Sharpie, green putty, a heat gun, silver rub and buff, sandpaper, hot glue, a sharpening stone, a respirator mask, goggles, a rotary tool, scissors, razor pens, or a box cutter. First, get a dummy head. The life cast would be better, but I don't have one of those readily available, and I want to experiment with adjusting the scale of my templates anyway, so foam it up. Wrap the dummy head in foil. Not creepy at all. Then wrap it in tape. Still not creepy. Then draw the template patterns. Cut them off of the dummy head. Take the patterns from the side that came out the cleanest and cut out notches where your lineup marks are. So if this is confusing at all, Evil Ted Smith has a tutorial of this same process. It's like 3 videos that add up to 30 minutes, so he pretty much covers everything. No need to retread that territory. Now trace those onto cardstock or thin cardboard to create rigid templates. Once those are cut out, trace them onto foam floor mats. Now cut those out. Normally you want to cut just inside the trace lines, but because I don't think the width of the foam will add enough material to fit my head, I'm cutting just outside the trace line. See, this is practice because I want to redo my Mandalorian helmet, which means adjusting the template scales that I originally used. Use the heat gun to heat up the pieces and round them out. Once they've cooled down, glue the pieces together using hot glue or contact cement if your shop is well ventilated. Make sure the lineup marks line up. Do I really have to explain this? It seems self-explanatory to me, but I don't know if it's just because I've done this a million times. So I assembled the 2 sides first, because if I have to add material, it's easiest to add it right down the middle, which, yep, totally ended up doing. That's just one of the side strips of the foam floor mats with the puzzle pieces cut off. I took another one of those strips and added it to the bottom, and the cheekbone armor. Sure, let's call it that. I cut this shape to go just above the eye holes, and I used a work knife to cut the pattern off the back so that it would be the same depth as the rest of the rim. I used craft foam to complete the rim. Normally at this point I would seal it in several layers of white glue so that I can fill in the seams with putty, but this helmet, it's just gonna flex every time that I put it on or take it off, and I know that that's gonna cause it to crack, so instead I'm gonna seal it in Flexidip. Coat the whole thing in several layers of Flexidip, which gave it this sort of black iron look, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, the Flexidip kept pulling itself apart at the seam. Luckily, I'm making this for a YouTube sketch where you're gonna see it in like 3 low light shots that are gonna obscure those horrible seams. So it's fine for me. Now, if you're watching this because you need it for a brighter situation like a convention center or something, and I think using contact cement instead of hot glue would solve the problem of the seams. See, people think that I'm against contact cement, but really for the past 2 years, I've been able to get hot glue for free. So of course I'm going to use hot glue instead, but that's no longer the case. So yeah, when I run out of hot glue, I think I'm going to use some of the Patreon money to get contact cement. When the Flexidip was dry, I used rub and buff around the border, and there you go, Magneto's helmet from X-Men First Class. Now go cause problems for Patrick Stewart. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this, then you might enjoy some of my other builds. Here's a few of them, links and annotations or cards you found on a mobile device. You can also support the channel via Patreon if you feel so inclined. Oh, by the way, thanks to all the new patrons from the last video, Ben, Sam, and Connor. Your pledges specifically are going to contact cement and lightsaber parts. What's your favorite movie helmet? Just any helmet. Let me know in comments below, because I need new ideas. Jake out! This is totally ridiculous because that coin is made out of aluminum.